Hello and welcome to the channel. My name's ESG and we're going to be playing Hearts of Iron 4 as Germany on Sheep's Mod. Sheep's Mod offers a better AI and a more challenging experience for those people who are looking for a bit more of a challenge in Hearts of Iron 4. Today we're going to be playing historically, just like you would in a multiplayer game. So that means there is no Operation Sea Lion or the invasion of the United Kingdom until we take Gibraltar, Malta, and Cyprus. We can only start war in January of 1939. No war with the Soviet Union before June of 1941. This is a much more challenging way of playing the game because it gives time for the Soviets and the United Kingdom to build up. It'll probably be impossible to take the islands in the Med, so I'm pretty much going to have to invade the Soviet Union on the historical timeline, and after we beat the Soviet Union, we'll consider that game over, we won the game. So I'm just going to give you the tank division template at a time so that you don't have to look for it in the middle of the video. This is going to be a soft attack build. You can see here that we have 847 soft attack, and we'll be going with a combat width of 36. The UK actually builds good divisions here. So this is the division to beat. And the reason why we need armor over 102 is because the piercing of this division is 102. It's a lot easier to go this build here with 2 4 heavy machine guns and 1 2X heavy machine gun, engine 3, which you get from your focus tree, and then you just add on a drop tank and 2 armor plates and you're good to go. And you can see here that the range is 1,000 kilometers, and that's going to be quite important on the Eastern Front as well as North Africa, where your airports are going to be way back and the air zones are very large. And you go the range designer, and this is going to give you that range. There's no other way to get that range without using the Focke-Wulf range designer. I will show you the tank designer you're going to produce with Daimler-Benz because you get all the bonuses, and then on the actual tank design, you're going to have Henschel. So you can see here, I'm building like tank destroyers and the heavy tank with the soft attack. We have Daimler-Benz on the top for the production efficiency gain, plus 15%. Production resources needed, negative 15%. Production output, 10%. And production efficiency cap of 5%. You go for Henschel on the actual design because you get 33% armor, 10% defense, 25% soft attack, 15% hard attack, 10% piercing, 17% breakthrough, reliability of 8%, and a max speed of 5%. So that will put all those stats on the tanks that you are producing. You have to go cast armor to kind of reach that threshold to not be pierced. And then we go for the improved medium howitzer to stack the soft attack because there's not 100% hardness on the AI division templates. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments about, oh, this tank's too expensive, but if you don't suffer from attrition, you're going to be fine. You see the reliability here. Reliability only matters if you're attritioning. So I just moved these tanks around to put them into attrition to give you an example of what I'm talking about. You see the skull there, that means that they're attritioning. And then if we go to like German Theater 1 here, and then we click on equipment, you can see how many tanks that you've lost through attrition. So I've lost 3,000. So this is just an example for you of how many tanks you can lose just from having the skull there. To get out of attrition, don't go on mountain tiles. Make sure that your divisions are supplied and build up supply wherever you go on the map. Let's go ahead and start a game. We've got difficulty normal. So that looks like it's the highest difficulty here, and I'm not going to go in Iron Man mode because I will be taking back saves because this is challenging enough to where I might need that. If you forget a political power buy, if you change up the focus tree order, you can have a lot of difficulties. So we are going to weaken friendly AI logic. AI tries its best, and then the Soviet infantry is going to be mass assault default. I'm not going to try to cheese the game. So I'm not going to use Space Marines, so I don't expect the Soviets to use Space Marines at all. We'll just go large infantry balanced playstyle. I have crafted this focus tree from playing multiplayer. And the fastest way to learn in this game is to play multi. First focus tree pick is going to be remilitarize the Rhineland, research we're going to be doing electronic mechanical engineering, basic machine tools, and construction 1. We will be going the 4-year plan side. Before the war starts, you're going to have the MIFO bill debuffs. And then after the war starts, you go to economy of conquest, and then your debuffs basically become occupying nations. You might be thinking like, oh, I'll go infrastructure first so I can have enough steel or resources and I can build faster later. So what we're going to do here is build civilian factories in the dam areas first, and then we'll build a dam in Rhineland later. So we'll kick out all these factories and then we'll just go for military factories. I'm going to grind an MIO Focke-Wulf, and we're just going to apply all the MIOs straight away. So this is going to be our starting production, and then we're just going to kick out the ships that are already being built. I don't really care. A lot of people like to take off the battleships, like naval invasions that we're really going to be successful at. Yeah, I forgot to put in train production there. Very important. I don't know why they wouldn't start off producing trains. So special projects, we'll go with Grote. And then when we have enough points, we'll go Flampanzer first into the military engineering vehicle. Rheinmetall, we will upgrade as follows. And if you really want to click all these MIO picks off early, so we'll go production efficiency cap and gain. We'll go Hush facilities, and then we'll work down to get all the bonuses for production. So this is how we'll upgrade Henschel for the soft attack bonuses. You get a lot early, you get armor. It's really good. And then for Focke-Wulf, you need to go in this order so that you pick up these bonuses to range. The 10% air attack is really important. And this is how I like to upgrade Focke-Wulf. Mauser, we're going to upgrade like this. Walther will be upgraded like that. And the MIOs are very important. I'm going to show you a trick. So if you see here under the heavy tank, you don't see Daimler-Benz. Let's take a look at Daimler-Benz here. So if you go under policies, heavy gantry cranes, it says heavy tank production efficiency gain of 5%. That will allow you to then put this MIO on heavy tanks. But you need a size of more than 5, so you need to grind this MIO. So I'll show you how to do that as well. So we're going to have 2 divisions here that are going to go to Ethiopia, and sending volunteers is going to be the way that you get full doctrine by war. You can also design tanks with that because you're going to gain the army XP. So that's going to be mission critical. So we'll make this cavalry template 18 combat width, and we'll save it here. And that's going to be the template that we're going to start off with. And we're going to send this template to Ethiopia and Spain, and then we'll alter it later. So the XP that we gain on this template will then convert into heavy tanks. So the other thing that I like to do is just make an occupation template here. And then we'll go ahead and go to our occupied territories tab and then make sure that we have that template. And then we're going to change this to civilian oversight. And then with our last bit of army experience, we'll create a new infantry division template that we could just spam out. We will be doing day 1 agency. If we cut through Harar, there's usually encirclements here. And to grind the XP on the general, encirclements are the best thing. So we formed the Abwehr, and I like to go for suicide pills right off the bat so that our agents don't get captured as much. And then we will go 5 levels of passive defense. You have to get mechanical computing. So mechanical computing is right here. And what the decryption will do is if you have the intel bonus in battles, it's a 15% malice or it's a 15% buff. So we want to make sure that we're the ones with that 15% buff. And then we can further get the intel bonus by getting interrogation techniques, invisible ink, and then army department. And we're going to be going with our agency, 3 collabs on France, 1 collab on Poland, and then we're going to infiltrate the army department of the United Kingdom. And we have 118 political power, so we will go Hjalmar Schacht. We can kind of see what that gives us here in our construction screen. So we have 16 civs building these civilian factories. If I pick Hjalmar and then wait a day, let's see what happens. So we got 1 civ out of the deal. So not amazing, but not too bad. We're going to upgrade to political loyalty to get the stability. And the stability is going to modify everything that you see here. So what we're going to try to do here is grind the improved small airframe ahead of time. It's way ahead of time. If you don't do this and you wait, you basically get it like February 39. Pump out as many of these divisions as possible so we could send more volunteers. Okay, we've received Institute price controls. So we want to increase our war support so that we're able to go war economy. So we'll go guns before butter campaign. And then we'll also go launch our Biet und Brat campaign. We could go proper heritage, send air volunteers and Gunther von Kluge's army. And now our war support is 50%. And we can go war economy. So now that we have Flampanzer, what I'm going to do is design a better light tank. So you have to put the flamethrower weapon on it and make it a flame support company. And you can adjust this template for free. So this is going to be our light tank that will go in the light tank recon divisions. So after you build this out, you simply change the main armament and then you change it back to light tank. We'll do decryption on France, then we'll go UK, then we'll go the Soviet Union, and then the United States. We'll decrypt all those countries. We're going to create a heavy tank and we're going to make it as cheap as possible because we're going to do constant conversion on this tank. So we're just basically kicking out as many as possible. We'll start off producing like 30 of these tanks. So we're going to increase our combat width of our divisions to 36, and this will be the division that we're going to change into converts later. So it's going to be important to basically make this exactly how you're going to make your converts, because that way the XP won't go down if you do your converts properly. All right, we'll go industrial liaisons for the light aircraft research speed of 15%. And von Kluge is halfway to level 5. And the main goal here is to get him up to chief of the army and make him an army offensive specialist. And if we get him to level 6, he's going to be a division attack expert. And we're going to kick out these last remaining civilian factories, and then we'll just start building military factories. Just a reminder, keep clicking down the price control measures. We now have a consumer goods factories factor of 0.5, so very minimal. So this will be our sub design, and that'll be our like mainline thing, as we want to destroy trade with the subs. All right, Fritz Todd's industrial plan questioned. So at this point, you want to go to Hermann Goering, and that will trade off Todd. You still keep the organization of Todd, but now we're going to have Speer and Goering, and then we're going to go Hess. And then that will get us down to the loyalty of Der Fuhrer. The main thing with Goering here is that you get a production efficiency cap of 5%, and you're going to be able to produce a lot more equipment with him. And you're going to be able to do excavation technology research speed. And remember, our goal is to go autarky achieved. So we're going to need to be able to get all these excav techs fast. After expanding the Luftwaffe, we're going to go form the Jagdwaffe. So what this is going to do is create the variant of the Focke-Wulf 190, which we're researching now. That will give us the engine 3. All right, we now have the medium howitzer that we can apply to the tank, but we want to get to the improved medium howitzer. So we'll stay on this research line, and then we'll produce our main battle tank here. And then we're gonna create an anti-tank variant of this, and we're just gonna use the basic heavy cannon, and then you have to switch it to tank destroyer. So now we have 2 of these types of tanks. So at this point, we're gonna get extra armor clicks for the tank, but we are also going to grind Daimler-Benz, and largely you upgrade Daimler-Benz by doing research. So we're going to research these extra armor clicks and the improved engine here to grind Daimler-Benz. All right, we're going to go ahead and pick up Reichsleiter Goebbels, and the thing about him is he's going to give us high stability as well as war support, and that's going to be very important for war. All right, the rise of Joseph Goebbels. So we will replace Speer at this point. All right, so Spain is defeated before the China War. So pretty much as the China War happens, so we could start sending volunteers over here. So let's send volunteers with air volunteers, and we can send 2. So we'll send Gerard von Rundstedt. And then it looks here like we're able to send 6 to Manchukuo. It looks like we could send 6 volunteers to Japan, so we'll go ahead and do that. And now we have the Reichslabor Service initiatives. Develop Southern Germany. Local construction speed 10%, add 1 building slot. So we'll go ahead and pick that up. And it's almost time to get the fighter. So I want to get the heavy MG and survivability studies because we have the fighter in 200 days. And we're going to need to produce a lot of those. And I'm just going to start producing this old fighter plane just to start building production efficiency. I don't think it'll retain it, but it's just kind of a placeholder. And we're going to need about 80 on fighter to be able to win the air. The faster and easier it is that we cap China, the more equipment we'll have on the Axis, because obviously Japan's going to be in the Axis. All right, we now have the better fighter, so we'll equip it with the heavy machine guns here and the armor plates. Weight does not exceed thrust. We'll apply Focke-Wulf, and that's going to be our main fighter that we're going to use. So now that the China war is almost over, we need to make sure that this division template is set. I've added logistics companies, and then I also want to add assault engineers, and that way they're ready to just be converted into the heavy tank division template. All right, and there we go, China caps. So all of our volunteers will be sent back. We have von Kluge, which now is going to have the army offense role once we promote him to field marshal. Okay, von Bock is up to level 5. So at this point we have 625 air experience. We're going to go air crew surveys to save on doctrine cost. I've also picked up von Richthofen, and we'll start down the battlefield support air doctrine. So we almost got all the way through, and then we'll work on our army doctrine after we're ready. So we could change to motorization drive. We'll promote von Kluge. So von Kluge is now a field marshal. So we'll give him offensive doctrine, which will then give him the army offense expert trait, which as soon as he reaches level 8 will get even better. So that's 10% division attack growing into 15. And there's a little bit more army XP gain, but that won't matter by the time we're at war. We're going to have full doctrine. So to just not forget that, we're going to put von Kluge as the army offense expert, and he costs less than Halder does. Some other things that we need to pick up, we'll pick up Erwin Rommel. Fedor von Bock can have combined arms expert, and then we can promote him to combined arms specialist. And then once he's level 6, he's going to have a 10% motorized attack and defense. So we'll go Fedor von Bock, and then we'll go Gerd von Rundstedt for the army regrouping expert. So we can also develop the Ersat material. So we have 3 collabs on France, so that will give us a lot of their industry due to the compliance gain. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do the converts, and we see the experience here. We have seasoned and we have regular troops. So we're going to take the template that they have, the cavalry brigade. We're going to duplicate that template and update it. And then I'm going to change this into converts. So we'll rename this to converts, and it should be exactly the same. So we should lose no experience there. And we did not. And we'll take the battalion listed as converts and we'll switch it into our tank battalion. And we have to do this exactly so that we don't lose any XP. So you duplicate the template, and then you turn this template into whatever tank division template you want. And if you have enough equipment, they should lose no experience. If you lack equipment, you'll start losing experience because all the equipment has to go into the division template at the same time. Oh no, are we out of heavy tank destroyers? 83. So we will lose a little experience here, but not much. Okay, after advanced panzer research, we'll go Aeronautical Research Institute to get to Eurobomber program, and that's going to give us an air range of 15%. So that's going to be very important to our overall strategy. We're going to go for Heinz Guderian. All right, and we have full doctrine fairly easily. We'll also pick up flexible organization. Okay, so we just researched improved artillery upgrade 2, so that's going to give us the improved medium howitzer, and we'll now build the new tank. So we should be able to put the improved radio, improved medium howitzer, as well as armor skirts, And then we're able to upgrade the armor clicks. So our armor is 146. We'll upgrade the engine all the way as well. So that's a fairly expensive tank right there. So we'll put that into production, and it looks like it kept all of its production efficiency. All right, so Danziger War, let the games begin. Rearmament has always been our goal. We'll lose Hjalmar Schacht and we'll replace him with Walther Funk here in a second. But what I want to do right off the bat is go total mobilization and women in the workforce. And women in the workforce will preserve your manpower. Okay, and Poland falls fairly quickly. Okay, so the Netherlands capitulates fairly easily. And it looks like we capped them so fast that there's no divisions left up here. So that's really good. So at this point, you can go North Africa, but none of the supply here in North Africa has been built up, and that's going to take up like all of our industry for 6 months, and will hamper our preparations for Barbarossa. Instead, what I'm going to do is justify a war goal on Yugoslavia, take Yugoslavia, not bring Italy into the faction, and then take all the resources that are here in Yugoslavia. So von Bock is actually level 6 now, so he gets a motorized attack and defense of 10%, so that's very good. Okay, our subs have arrived, so we'll put them in the North Atlantic Ridge on a convoy rating order. And the AI is good, but they're not that good, so we're gonna sink a lot of convoys out here. So the Quisling coup, don't take that, because it'll set up a puppet government in Norway, and then you don't get all the resources from Norway, and it also gives Sweden a lot of resource rights up here. So don't go Quisling's coup, just take Norway out yourself. Okay, Yugoslavia just capped, so we should be at we should have a lot of resources towards autarky achieved. Looks like we need more oil, tungsten, chromium. So we're going to be getting a lot of those resources from excavation. All right, we're going to justify a war goal on Greece next. Okay, we just received loyalty to Der Fuhrer. Okay, we'll start cycling our collaboration governments on the Soviets. Okay, Daimler-Benz is now at level 5, so we can go heavy gantry cranes. About one more tank out for the Tiger. Also put that for the old tank that we're using as converts. Vichy France annexed. And then as soon as we're done with demands to Sweden, we should be able to get autarky achieved. So demands to Sweden gives us access to all the resources that are here in Västerbotten. So that should give us the tungsten that we need to go autarky achieved. And then boom, we can go autarky achieved, and we'll just go straight into Operation Barbarossa here. So huge encirclement in the south. This is going to turn into a pocket, but it's going to take a long time to take down. And then we still have like the 37 divs in here that they're trying to break out, and a few more pockets in the north as well. So we're just going to have to do that again and again and again. And the hard part about it is you have to build up all the infrastructure to a level of 4 as you move into the Soviet Union. So it's going to be a long road. Now that we have autarky achieved, we should switch economies to Wirtschaftswunder. And you get all the bonuses that you see there, and the game will be a lot easier because of the factor output and everything else that you get. Oh my god, I finally did it. We beat the Soviets. That was crazy. we had to go take out the fins just to make sure that they couldn't apply pressure. And then I got to about like right here after I took the Caucasus. D-Day landed a couple times, but I just took him out with heavy tanks. Not a big deal. I would say that this mod is very difficult. Definitely a better experience for advanced players. So I'm just going to take all this territory. The Apex Conqueror. This is a win in my book. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.